Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. It is so nice to see you. And just before this went on, my video paused and I thought I was all done already. So we'll see what's going on with my internet connection. It obviously is having some kind of an issue, who knows what. So today I'm going to do this mask that's Snowy Delights, and what a day that does not look at anything like Snowy Delights. I mean, I don't know if I can get my camera around to, you probably couldn't even see that because, oh, I can flip it. I always forget I can actually flip it here. So you can see outside it is amazingly beautiful. And anyway, it's really sweet. Wow, what is going on there? Okay, I see. Anyhow, I sat out there for quite a while. It was really sweet and nice, and now I'm back inside. So I got a little warm, washed windows, and now you can see out those windows. That's kind of nice. I mean, you could see out, but man, when that winter sun gets low and comes in, it's like I did not have any idea they'd gotten that hideous, and they were pretty bad. And upstairs, especially down here, that deck hides the windows a lot, so they look better than they really are. But anyway, they are clean now. I'm very glad. Last year I ruined a window screen, and 2 years ago I ruined a window catch, so that one can't be. Thankfully it's a double window and I don't even need to open that one. I'll just open the other one. It's like, oh man, what can I do wrong? It's a big giant window that would probably cost $10,000, and I'm not exaggerating. I have no idea. As much as windows are, it's huge. It's got a transom thing. It's huge anyway. All right, but it works. It's good. The part that I need to work, it works, and I'm going to just leave it at that for now and not worry about it. Okay, back to Snowy Delights. Not snowy, not cold. I'm going to take my sweater off. I'm warm down here even. It's just amazingly nice here in the 70s. It was outside all day, but I got myself in here because this video is actually for next week's newsletter. So if you are on this week's newsletter, check out the old video that's showing that. But I really wanted to show this to you because it's really cool. But real quick, I'm going to put out a plug for this Homemade Treats. Homemade Treats is coming up. I have no idea when I'm going to get this card out there for you to see. This one's like an extra that I did. But it's just a super cute set. So I want to encourage you to get that one. It's got dies to it. It might be back ordered or I'm sorry, currently unavailable is the lingo of the day. But it'll be back. So I'm going to get started. I know Jeff is going to be home from doing his stint of substitute teaching today. So I need to get done at least partially before he gets home, and hopefully I can get everything done. Now I've written out my instructions because I did this set actually quite a long time ago. Probably at least 2 months ago. I mean, who knows how long, but it's been a long time ago. So I just needed to have them written out for you to see, for me to see too. And now you can see my card. So what I did I'm not going to do a video for this one. This is part of some other set, you know, anyway, not doing it. But it's a cute little slim card. You just do a slim card with this. Did I put a, yeah, I did. There it is. It's just kind of stuck there. I just embossed with that swirly folder just the bottom. It turned out really cute because I kind of wanted the idea of this piping, you know. I just stamped it with probably cinnamon cider, actually. It's kind of looking like, but pecan pie would be fine. It stamps up really nice on white for these, and then on real red, the same color for these, and then did probably, this looks like this is not real red. This looks more like, I don't know, but it should be real red. I thought I did real red. This is black actually on the oven mitt. Anyhow, super cute, super easy to do. I just glued those guys down. This is a super cute, fun set, and I just love the sentiments. Aren't those fun? And from the kitchen of, okay, anyway, get that set. So what I'm going to show you today mainly is how to take a big sheet and turn it into this with this mask, because this with doing it like this, you have the ability to, I'm going to try to adjust this because I've got a new deal going here. I'm always trying to fix my lights and make it a little brighter, but without this terrible glare on it. And I don't know if it's possible to do that, but we'll keep trying anyway. Because I actually kind of need the light here, folks. Like, seriously, what's the deal here? Aha! Maybe that will work better. Okay. Maybe. It's more on my stomach than on the mat. Anyway, so, and you'll hear my washer clinking. I'm always laundering while I'm doing this, it seems like. Well, if I'm doing it on Fridays, of course, because I always wash up my sheets on Fridays, so that's the way it goes. Yeah, this glare is still going to happen. It just doesn't seem to be something I can avoid and still have the lights on. If I was a professional, I'd know how to do this, but I don't. All right, so we'll just leave the glare in the corner, and I'll try to work more where there's light over here in the dark. So here we go. Big sheets, easy to do, but there's just a few steps that are helpful if you know what they are. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my list so that you know exactly what I'm talking about, because these are important steps. So first, do a practice first. This is like so basic, but just to know, this is my practice because I kind of wanted to do pool party with some greens and see how it turned out. And I didn't care for it, so I abandoned it and went to my traditional old blue and purple, basically, for a non-traditional Christmas color, because I kind of like that combo. We're going to do some bubble bath and berry burst today. We'll see how that turns out. So for pink stuff, but always do a practice first just to see how your color combination is working out and get kind of an idea of how those masks are laying down and how easy they are to use, because they're super easy. Always tape your card down. I'm actually just using some old washi tape from like way back. Place your stencil. Okay, I gotcha. But when you do, put your tape on all four sides of your stencil, okay, to your placemat, which in my case is like rubberized, but I've got so I can have my website under there showing if you want to go see it. Although you have to find it at Wixsite because it doesn't have that URL. Tape the stencil so it can be moved, though. So in other words, when you push your tape down on the cards, don't make it so firm that you can't possibly move it again. And then for the particular cards that I did for next week, just so that you can see what they are and what I did, I think I only have these two. Maybe I have one upstairs, but anyhow, I used the framed scenes and just made it a wintry one. Now, framed scenes is from last, I don't know, it was a while ago, but I'm sure it's still on the online exclusives list. I think this was an online exclusive, but I really love its size, and I've highlighted it before, but this lends itself to snow really well. This one kind of does if you want to make ice there. Yeah, that one sort of. It's hard to do evergreens, though, you know, with ice and snow, and there's none on the roof. So those are harder, but those are pretty easy to change over. But we actually also have winter scenes, which are small. I have them, just did not get them out because I'm not going to be using them. I'm just going to show this to you because you can just do your big snowflake and put any winter scene on here. You don't need to do any particular, I mean, almost any stamp would work here, an animal even, but I kind of prefer to have that. So this is the die I use. This is from Traditional Labels, which is available. I believe those dies are available still, and they're really nice ones. And then this one's something else, an old probably. But as you can see, just the snowflake on there is pretty nice. So Life's a Beautiful Journey. I have no idea where that came from, but that's one of those ride with me kind of ones. So anyhow, pretty glitter and the snowflakes, that goes together. And so that's what we'll be doing. And I don't know if we have any glitter paper. I didn't even bother to look. This one's an old soft shimmer 12 by 12, and they had it on sale for quite some time. And I'm going to use the Berry Burst sheet for today's card. But there's also our Lost Lagoon, and there it looks like pretty peacock or something, Night of Navy. This really pretty parakeet one, Bubble Bath. So if there is some glimmer paper in the clearance or online page, get it out. All you need today is 1 sheet of paper, cardstock, obviously. We'll set this aside. I might use it to make a card, but I don't know that I will this time around because I probably won't have time to. So what I'm going to first of all do is I'm going to just tape this down, right? That's my instructions, but especially if you're going to do just a card size, you definitely need to just tape it down. This cannot be moving around. Bubble Bath and Berry Burst, those are the colors I'm going to use, and my brushes. Where are you? Brushes, 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 the sponge brushes. Hello. They used to be like right here in front of my face. There they are. I knew they were here somewhere. I just couldn't see them. So here are all the brushes. I'm only going to need 2 because I'm only going to use these 2 colors. So I'm going to use this one, and I think I'm going to get out a little one, and maybe this second one that are both kind of sullied with purple and pinks. And then those are the ones I'll use, and I'll probably only use 2, but I'll get out a third just in case I need it, because you can see I kind of have going, you know, like there's 4 colors in this one, but basically it's still just one color that you do lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. That actually I think works best, to just do the one color and just make it lighter and lighter and lighter. So you do need a piece of cardstock or paper that you're going to use as a scrub off on the side so that you can get the depth of hue, not you, hue that you want. I hope that's a word for what I'm using. I know it's a word, but okay, we'll just go on. We'll go on. I'm not in a witty mood today, and I never really am, I suppose. I am, actually. I'm very in a witty mood always, but I am not actually very witty. I count on my husband to make me laugh, and he is hilarious. He definitely does do that. All right, so we've got light on this side. It's pretty dark on this side. At least it's not quite as glary as it was, but I'm going to adjust again because I'm really trying. I'm going to put you here. It probably help block my glare a bit on there. And then I'm going to move this light over here, and we'll try to function a little bit with more light. Oh, it puts it right there. Well, we'll just stick you there then and see if that helps. All right, I think I'm set. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Oops, there. All right, I'm taking off my sweater and we are gonna get going. And I think that actually does look like it's looking good. One thing you need for sure is you need water nearby. It's nice to be able to get water nearby. And I'm checking these just in case I do decide to stamp something. Got my washi tape. I think I'm set. So your masks, called Snowy Delights Decorative Masks, they are numbered. Okay, we've got 4, 3, 2, and 1, because that's just the order I have them in right at the moment. There's notches in the side. The numbers are on the front, so you can see what are actually the front, so you won't get them turned over. Because the notches, as you can see, are always in the same spot. They have to be. They're marking different things. This is going to be the darkest stencil. That one's going last. The third one's the next darkest. Second one, and so on. Each one is successively lighter and darker. Now for this, for a big sheet, I've gotten pretty comfortable with this stencil. I can't really, yeah, we're gonna just put our project here because that's not gonna, I need this on the right side. I need my masks over on this side. Okay, so what you need, I'm going to tape this down, but if you're doing just a card, you're going to just tape this down, but when you're doing it like I'm doing it, you are going to tape it, but it does need to be moved, in other words. Now this I'm not going to move at all. So I can seal this deal really good. I don't want this thing shifting. And I'm kind of putting just as minimal as possible down on the mat, you know, I mean on the edge, because I actually want to cover the whole sheet. And it is like summer in here. I did not put on the air conditioner, but I did shut the blinds upstairs because I could tell that already this morning, that sun, once it hits the back side of that west side of our house, you know, our big oak trees, leaves are almost all down now, and wow, it's going to be hot up there. I'm probably going to have to put the air conditioning on to get it cool enough to sleep tonight, because it is different. It is normally not this way, and it has been dry again for the last 2 weeks, but it's supposed to rain next week, so it better, because man, I'm going to have to get the hose hooked up and water out there, which should never happen in Missouri. Okay, so this is number one. It's going to be the lightest version. I want some of it off the mat or off the card and onto the mat, and some of it on. This can overlap some. You only have one size. So this one, I can kind of hold it. I am going to tape it, but I don't want to tape it really hard, because if you tape this down really hard to your cardstock, it will tear. I can tape it down pretty hard on the mat like I just did, but you don't want to be taping it down really hard on the cardstock. So I taped those really hard, and now this one, I'm going to just do these corners pretty light so that can be lifted off really easy. Okay? That is the biggest deal. So this is the darkest color. I think I'm going to do one like this and see how it looks. So since it is the darkest color, this has to be the lightest that I do. So I'm going to just push that on there. I'm going to kind of get that off and see what I think, because wow, that is super, super dark. And I want this to be super, super light. So I'm getting most of it off. Okay, now we're going to go on here. We'll see. That's pretty dark. So we're not doing much. Now let's see how that looks. Oh, it's so pretty. I think I'm going to stick with that color. I might not need bubble bath at all, because that is too gorgeous. So these I want to overlap. Okay, so wherever your tape is already, just stick with it. Try to keep it right on your stencil, and then you won't be moving it around. This part's easy because I'm not lining anything up. I'm just doing the background one. Okay, so this one, leave some gap because you're probably going to want to come in with a stamp and stamp a little bit here and there. So if you have some gap going on, that'll be nice. I haven't inked up again yet. You know, I inked that one time, and then that was it. I'm going to stick this on here better. And that on there better. That I got a little too dark. Oh, wow. Okay, now here I'm going to go off the page. Oops, off the... Very cute. I did not go and work out today because I decided it's easier on days I'm washing my sheets to not do that. Do it randomly. You don't want a pattern for sure. Okay, I think I can still get it on here with, I'm pressing harder, but I'm still not inking up again because I'm afraid I'm going to get it super dark. I don't want this snowflake to be dark. And this is already pretty dark because all of the other things I'm going to add into it you know, we're going to add layers of color. It's so easy to do. I want to do this with our grandkids because well, our granddaughters, our 2 granddaughters that are old enough to do this, they would love this. This would be so much fun. I'm not even going to tape those other edges down. Just doing this little corner here. Oops, it shifted, but I think we're good. Yeah, no sweat. Okay, still have a little bit of coverage to do. You just keep looking and covering it up as much as you wish or not. And some overlap is good. Okay, you do want some overlap. We've got new kits, and we actually have coming in the Stampin' Up! World a new catalog pretty soon. And I don't know if you're ready for it, but it's going to be here in January. This year there is not going to be a celebration, so don't wait for that to be buying things, because otherwise you're going to miss out on everything, because it's, you know, stuff goes pretty fast once it hits the shelf, in a sense. And so if you want any products, you'll need to be ordering them now, because all of the last catalog, most of that is probably on clearance right now and going and going and gone. All right, I think that's it. So this one's done. Normally I would take it really fast and wash it, especially since it's got red on it. Red ink seems to be kind of hard to get clean. So that's why I said you want a sink nearby. You want to get those washed, but it doesn't matter to me. Okay, so that was number 1. Now we're going to go with number 2. Now normally you would be lining up your notches. I happen to just know how this looks. And these little skinny guys are going right in the middle of all of these other ones. So I don't really need to, and I'm going to line up these little balls too. So you can kind of see to line these up, and the hearts are going to line up on the inside of those hearts. So once you kind of get the idea of how to line your stamp up, you don't have to follow those notches, but until you are really, really super comfortable with it, you need to. I did many of these before I was big enough girl to do this. All right, so now for this color, I want it darker. We're gonna go ahead and do it again, but I can't get it too dark, but it needs to be darker. Okay, so that's not gonna be dark enough. And then once I get to a certain point, if I have to add a different color to see the distinction, I will. But I want to see what that's going to look like now. When we pull this up, you can see it, okay? You can see the difference between what was and the added layer. There's not a whole lot of difference, but there's a little bit, okay? It's skinnier and fades to lighter. So I'm going to need to do that darker, I believe. So I'm going to line it up here again on another one. And this one, though, was lighter anyway. I did that one kind of dark. It's easier for me to line these up by the hearts. These little hearts and the little globes that are all around. There's fat globes, and then there's little teeny tiny globes. And those are easier for me to line up. Okay, where's the other one? I got another taped here somewhere. Where did it go? Did I leave it? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so this time we're gonna need to go a bit darker. So that means I am gonna have to, if I'm going darker, I'm going to have to add a different color in. These are really pretty. They're going to be a little bit more pinky than I probably initially thought they would be. That's going to be really dark on that edge. Oh, it's so cute. But man, today is not a day I'm feeling very Christmassy. I did have my Christmas music going briefly as I was, because Jeff and I went to Silver Dollar City yesterday. It was so pretty. They have their holiday decorations out, and it was really nice. Now you can also line up the wheel in the middle there. Can help you get these ones aligned if you're not using the notches too. When you're moving around a big sheet like this, you don't want to use the notches. You want to be comfortable enough with this to not have to do that. Yeah, anyway, so they had their Christmas music going, which I was actually kind of surprised, because I mean, like I said, it's really nice. Yesterday at Silver Dollar City was like the perfect weather. It was so beautiful. 70s. I asked Jeff, do you want to go on any rides? And we'd already bought something. And he said, no, because we'd have to we can't just set this aside. And I'm like, oh, yeah. No. I guess we won't be going on any rides today. It's really nice to live here. And then we get to go there anytime we want to, because, you know, I get a season pass. We have the season passes here. I looked at our other families' season passes where they close to where they are, like nowhere near us, because our place, Silver Dollar, that's a half-hour drive from here. It's sweet. It's so sweet. And for them, their park, Silverwood, would be, 5-6 hour drive away. Just not, they can't just go there and come back the same night. And their season passes aren't bad, but they're still like nothing close to how great ours are. But they're pretty good, actually. They were better than I expected them to be, because Idaho's so expensive now. It used to be Idaho wasn't that expensive. I grew up over there, so I remember what it was like. Anyway, anywhere near Coeur d'Alene especially, you better have some dollar to work with. All right, so anyhow, Silverwood's pretty fun though. It would be nice to be able to have gotten something from them, but it would have had to have been like a super, super, super good deal. Well, in fact, even for us to do it, it probably would have had to have been, well, this is, happening because we plan on being here a lot, and that we can't afford the flights to do that. So that won't be happening. Or you guys will be doing it a lot, and they probably can't afford it either because they're working a lot. Life. All right, so where are the hearts? That's what I need to find. There they are. Okay, so found the hearts. So once you find those hearts, then it's going to help you line up. This one's really, really light. I did this one super, super light, so it's a bit harder to find the perfect matchup. There we go. Okay. Oh, so cute. I am really liking this pink. It's so pretty. Now this one's really light, and it's going to be hard to figure out. Oh, good. There we go. I lucked out because it's so much off the paper. So there's very little stencil showing, so it just makes it a little harder to find it. Oh, you are adorable. I am really enjoying it. You're going to have to, if you're doing this with kids, this is like major hands-on for this part. I think as it goes, it might be a little easier for them, but this part, you're going to have to super help align. All right, so we got those all done. I'm going to set that mask on the side. Oops, I tore my washi tape. So I'll have to get a couple new pieces out. And number 2. Now number 2, we can go darker. I can't go lighter. I actually should have started with my bubble bath. We're gonna go darker. So I'm gonna have to get, I think I can go darker one more time with this, and then we'll go with another color for the other one. Now this one has tulips around it, so that'll work with my pink. And the way to line this one up is the dots go on the snowflakes, I believe. I'll check that out as we go. The wagon wheel, we're gonna start with the wagon wheel right here in the center. So I can see, actually the dots go on the hearts. Okay, so you're gonna line up your wagon wheel. Your hearts will be right, these little dots will be right in the center of the hearts and the snowflakes. They go out to the length of the snowflakes, these longest dots do, that come out on this third mask. And the little tulips are upside down and right side up because it's kind of like a Nordic design. It's pretty cool. I think you're gonna really like this mask. I've done a lot of masks, and I think this one's one of my favorite ones that I've done with Stampin' Up stuff. All right, so now let's do, I love doing my own background paper because then I can do the colors I want, especially at Christmas time. Christmas to me, at Silver Dollar City, Jeff and I remarked to each other how many times, as we were going through, many times we did, how it's being advertised as a traditional Christmas, and we loved it. It was so Christian, for one thing, because Christmas is a Christian tradition and belief and everything. It came from Christ, so it is Christian. And so that's nice. But actually, the part that was traditional, I think that was just shown really well there, was the Santa Clauses and the reindeer. They looked good. They were more in the 50s and 60s and 40s, probably, tradition. Their faces were happy. They were really good, and loved it. Just loved it. Okay, so dark on this one. Okay, we're gonna go pretty dark, and then we'll check it and see if I can see it good, and if not, we'll have to get out a different darker color. Okay, now you're gonna use less and less ink as you go, because you're covering smaller spaces because it gets more detailed. But I can see it really good on that one. These I'll have to do darker and darker because they were darker anyway. This was the lightest one. So I should have started with my bubble bath and scraped off most of the color and done that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this one out before starting maybe one more, just to show you what it would have looked like. Now, I'm having a much easier time lining my stencil up. You'll find that as you go. Your stencil's going to be much easier to line up because that wagon wheel actually shows through really well. Okay. That was dark. That was super dark. Oh, wow. Really dark. I don't know if I needed it that dark. Probably didn't need it to be quite that colorful. Okay, just looking at my wagon wheel here in the center. Once you get that done, line up your flowers, your little tulips, because they'll line up right on those little globes that were the first large part that we stayed true with. Pretty dark. We'll see how that looks. Oh man, I'm loving it though. It's really dark. It's pretty. This one's gonna be pretty vivid, which is good because my glitter paper that I'm gonna do as the background matte for these is gonna be that berry burst, so it'll match that color really well. But the one thing about it is you want to be real careful with this placement. Once you've done it, it's done, and you're not. If you did it wrong, you'll see it. So don't go pushing down too hard on that ink unless you're absolutely positive. By the time you get to this level, this number 3, you should be pretty confident with it. Okay, normally I work from top to bottom. I actually did this center one as the main one to start with so that I was confident in placement of my my stencil. But other than that, normally I would probably start up high and come down low just so that I have less chance of smearing the ink all around that I'm working on down here. Wow, you're real dark. Okay, this one right there. You can do it a line like the stars. Okay. Oops. No, let's see what happened. Kind of flubbed it a little. The thing is I taped it to that, which was very foolish. We'll move this so that I don't do that again. You have to, for this part, you're going to have to do it pretty hard. So you definitely don't want to have it, the stencil shifting. It's got to stay secure. Okay, so I'll do a better job this time of pushing that down. And washi tape is definitely, even pushed down pretty good, not going to stick to this paper. You do have to be careful. Some painter's tape is advertised as liftable, and some of them lift better than others. I wouldn't use painter's tape. I would use washi tape or even Post-it notes. But I'm serious about it being real Post-it notes, not knockoff Post-it notes. You need something that is going to be easily removed and without tearing your cardstock, because after you've gone to all of this work to make this beautiful background paper, you do not want any of it tearing. That would be a tragedy. All right. Little flowers. There you go, right there. Very cute. So I know I've told you guys before about the sourdough pop-up bakeries here, but man, I'm telling you, I'm having a hard time not plumping up here because I want to keep them in business, and that's my excuse. But the reality is that it's plain old delicious. And thankfully, they're only baking once a month. I mean, seriously. So Irina does the pumpkin scones, and oh my goodness, they are so delicious. And so she did them one extra time. I don't know if she did them just for me. I sent a message that said I would have bought more if I'd known they were this delicious. So I don't know if she did that just for me, but of course when she did an extra batch last month, I certainly wasn't going to miss out. And oh man, I was definitely going to keep most of them in the freezer and not eat any of them. Yesterday I told Jeff there's two left. I took one and put it in a little baggie in the drawer down there where you won't see it, so that I get one and the other one's yours. And he said, oh, I'd forgotten that they were down there. I haven't had any of them. And I was like, oops, I didn't know I'd eaten that many. Sorry. Oh well, I'm not going to give it to you. Sorry. I mean, you snooze, you lose around here. So, too bad. I mean, he eats a lot of stuff I miss out on, so it's not like I did not feel bad at all. He eats a lot of things that I would have liked to have had some of it and didn't really get any, or got just very, very little of it. And then I'm kind of secretly glad, because otherwise I'd have gained 3 pounds on it. And 3 pounds every week, it adds up fast. All right. But man, it is good stuff. So I was not going to have that one that I'd saved. And then I got it out this morning anyway, and I cut it in half. I thought, okay, I'm going to just have half. I won't let myself have all of it. But could I resist? No, I could not. So I ended up eating the whole extra one, sadly. All right, I'm having a hard time lining this one up because there's so little of it on here. There we go. I got you now. There you go. All right. We are almost done. I've got one more stencil to do. And voila. Isn't that sweet? So pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So I would encourage you to just try all the colors. Just try all the colors. They're all going to be really nice. Now, our last one has to be super, super, super duper dark. Oop, that was my washi tape. And for this one, again, we've got in the center, I've got tape all over my hands here. Here, let me, let me put the washi tape down on the mat so that I can even move the thing. Man, I'm using them as the handles, which doesn't always work. Okay, there we go. Get that on there, and then that one there. Oh, I've got an extra one. How did that happen? Okay. I've got 2 extras. I don't know how that happened. We'll just stick them on the side. All right, I probably peeled it off of here. You've got your wagon wheel. They're random dots with little triangles. There's little hearts that go on the side here. So what I'm going to do, because I'm a little perplexed, is look at my other one to see where do these little hearts go. So these little hearts that are going like parentheses actually are pointing right beneath the pine bough. Okay, so find one of those and stick that on there, and then get your wagon wheel centered in. You can still kind of see where there is a wagon wheel. The dots go right on the bottom. There should be a dot on the bottom of each of the large globes. So if you put that dot on the bottom of all of the large globes, your little heart should all be pointing right at one of these pine bough rays, right at the base. I guarantee you they will be. You just have to get these little dots right on the bottom. It's confusing. This dot in the very center goes right in the center of the wagon wheel, right in the center. Okay, but I'm gonna say this part's actually kind of important. You do need to make sure that those dots are at the bottom of each of those little globes. It's not gonna look quite as good if you don't. All right, Berry Burst, we're gonna have to say goodbye to you. You are just not gonna be deep, deep, deep colored enough. So now I need to think, okay, if that's the case, where are we going with this? I don't want to go with red. I don't want to go with blue or purple. So let's go with a super, super dark berry. And we'll try rich razzleberry and we'll see. I'm going to do it on the side over here with our other marker and see what I think with that. Yeah, that's going to be nice. It's going to have to be dark so I can see it. But it definitely is going to be dark enough. Okay, so this is a retired color. It's really pretty. Oh, sorry. I think this is retired. Get those good in the center there. Okay. Now let's see how that looks. When Jeff and I went to Silver Dollar City yesterday, it was so beautiful. And Jeff has gotten so good at parking it down there because it's a nightmare getting into Branson. Oh, look at you. Oh, you are so pretty. I love that. This is a perfect color combination, actually. This is going to look so good. So get that dot right there in the smack dab in the center of that wagon wheel. And then everything else should line up. It's pretty dark, so I'm going to have to wipe this down just so I can see through it. Because right now it is so dark with that ink. I cannot see through it enough to be able to line it up. So we'll try that again. Get this dot right there in the wagon wheel. And now I can see whether my little dots are are on the bottom of all those little globes, because it's just a tiny, tiny adjustment needed. But like I said, it's kind of important. They need to be right there at the bottom. So he got us parked, like we just slipped right in there, exactly knowing how to go. Perfect parking place that we know of. It's really close to all the places we want to visit there. And we had such a blast. And first stop is the tea shop. You got to go to the tea shop. Oh man, Jeff said, now I am going in for a treat at the tea shop, and you don't have to have any if you don't want to. And I was like, ha ha ha, that's a good one, because obviously I am here to have the treat too. So that was really funny. We went in, almost no one there at that moment. Of course, as soon as we show up, not because the people want to see it, but we were eating right there by the window too, and I think that really does draw people in. So look at the center, get it lined up with that little wagon wheel. And now that you or I have cleaned off that's not, I'm overlapped into another one, so I'm having a little harder time lining it up because of my, why is that not, let me turn it a little here, see if that makes a difference. Does not. My little dots are not lining up perfectly with my globes like they should be. Well, we're going to have to just do it anyway. That's funny. Where are my hearts? There they are. So they should be, it should be lining up right there. Ah, I gotcha now. So use what you need to get it lined up. It will line up. You just have to, adjust until you see the hearts at the bottom of those little pine boughs and the little dots at the base of these largest globes. And then you're ready to smear your last ink on here. So the tea shop has coffee and tea, and Jeff got a peach tea that was, oh man, if I'd known it was that good, I would have had some. But I just had water and tea. I had what did I have? No, I just had water. I knew I'd be on overload of food and stuff at the park. So I was like, I better just have water because I'm definitely having a dessert. So I got the German chocolate cake. Oh, it was so good. The wagon wheel is hidden. So you're going to have to, anywhere where it's hidden, you're going to have to use your little hearts to center up the hearts on the bottom of the pine bough and the dots in the design here. Okay. And that it was only the best Okay, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. I think that was the last one. I think I'm done. Because the dots, are the dots in? No, those dots are other dots. These are other dots. Okay, I was all excited, thought I was done. Haven't done all of them because you have to have the little hearts in or it's not done. Haven't done that one yet either. Okay. Jeff had, what did he have? He had strawberry rhubarb pie. Oh man, it was so good. And this year, this time when we come back, we usually stop at Billy Gale's down there in Ozark. But just before we'd left town, I'd heard the ad for Rosie Joe's down there. And oh man, that cafe is so good because they make so many of their own homemade things. And their pie is wonderful. And I kind of thought that on the way. So that's one reason I did not have pie at the tea shop. I had cake. And then we went and did salt. So we went and saw Branson. I got some more used books. That was good. And then we went to the park and had a wonderful time. Looked at all the decorations, bought a couple of things. Listened to lots of really good Christmas music. Okay, haven't done this one. There's the center. Right there. Okay. Trying to get my hearts where they belong. It's hard to see when you get to the end here. Really hard to see. Okay. And I gave him most of my cake, though. He had most. I'm being generous to myself. Actually, half. I did give him about half of it. It was so good, though. That was actually a huge sacrifice to give him half. It was really tasty. All right, I'm almost done. Man, my hands are getting, they will get inky, so don't touch your product, you know, that you're making. Don't touch your paper because your fingers kind of, with this dark ending. All right, no wagon wheel. All right, so my little hearts that I see, I'm going to put those right at the end here of that pine bough. I hope you can see that. So I've got little hearts lined up right there. Put those at the base. There we go. The blacksmith was going. He's not always actually working when we are there. So it was fun to stop and watch him for a bit. And there are a lot of little shows that are Christmassy, you know, all going. We didn't do any this time. Normally we do, but we didn't this time. And Jeff's rhubarb pie was so good, but at Rosie Joe's, I had, oh man, they have the best onion rings. They were so yummy. I asked Jeff as soon as we got in, are you getting the onion rings? Because that is going to tell me what I need to order or not. So if you're ordering onion rings, I'm definitely having some. So I had their chili. It was really good. I've never had their chili before, so that was tasty. And Jeff had their Reuben, which he often has. It's really, really good. The onion rings are fabulous. And the peach pie I had. So I had a lot of dessert yesterday, you can tell. And it was delicious. All right, so one more, and then this sheet is done, at least with this part. But then because I left some negative space, you can you know, use the other stamps that you have to decorate it up just a little bit more. All right, so hearts there, center there, dots go at the bottom of each little globe. I had it and then I moved it when I did that. Perfect, almost. There we go. And actually your ray of dots also are going to go in a straight line. So some of mine I did get off a tiny bit. Oh, I didn't do that one. I thought I did. All right, so the little ray of dots. That one's pretty important too, to make sure it's lined up right. So I'm sorry I didn't get, oh, these two I still haven't done. My goodness, I'm kind of taking a long time with this. So, you know, if I wasn't chatting and if I could get my head right over it to see it, this would be going a tiny bit faster, but it does take a little bit of time to do, but it's very rewarding. You get a whole stamped sheet and you're not having to, that's covered, and you are not having to do individual coloring, because that can get really tedious with these things. So little that there. Okay, so I'm lining up these dots at the bottom of the bases, and this time I'm making doubly sure that all of my dots are going straight up the pine boughs like they're supposed to be. Okay, and that one's done. Oh, you're so pretty. I'm really loving it. It's gorgeous. And the great thing about this is don't feel bad about praising yourself. Oop, I smudged there. As I smudge. Because it's not me. This is so easy. Anyone can do this. It's gorgeous, but it's not, it does not take any real skill to do it, okay? Anyone can do it. So don't feel like this is hard. It's not, and it should be fun. If it's not fun, then don't do it. You're not enjoying it. But if it's fun at all, then stick with it, okay? It gets better. The better you get at it, the better it's going to be. Now, you pick the color you want the most. If it's the dark one, stick with it. I will go back with Berry Burst, and we'll fill in just a little bit in those spaces. Now, when I did this one, I did my snowflakes more together because I really didn't want anything, you know, marring it at all. I just wanted it the way it was. And I'm gonna have to really scrub these masks now, since I just left them over here and not cleaned them instantly. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to get all of that off, but I will succeed in doing it. Let me get my hands cleaned a bit, I really don't want ink all over the place. And we're going to put that Berry Burst away because, wow, that one's super, super dark. I do really like it. It's pretty. All right, so then what other stamp set did I use? Oh, yeah. With this set, I got out my Holly Jolly Wishes. Okay, because it has fa la 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 la, jingle all the way. These are my more secular Christmas ones. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's probably one of my favorites. Be of good cheer. We wish you a Merry Christmas. All of them wonderful. I do not know how old this is because I don't think Stampin' Up! Puts years on their sets. I wish they did. If I was beginning, I would put the year on it so that I would know. But I have been doing this for so long that most of my stamps aren't going to have that, even if I started now. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to even bother doing it. All right, so now, I'm not going to stamp these words on here because that would really limit how I can use this. But I can find another, snowflake, a littler snowflake stamp. And why didn't I get that out already? I thought I had everything I needed, and I'm not seeing another Christmas set right here, which that's so lame. Let me grab one. I know I have a bunch laying around, but what did you do? You went and you put all your Christmas things away because you thought you were done. All right. I have them right here. It's just a matter of finding them. Okay, so you go and find your snowflakes. One of the other ones that I think I used that I thought kind of matched this set a little bit was frosted foliage, and then has a little cluster of them. These are nice sentiments. This one actually came with some nice frames. This is the only die that I'm keeping with this set. The frames I have out elsewhere, so I can use them as frames. But this will fill in these spots really nicely. And so I'm going to just stamp them. If you wanted to do another color with your main color, my main color is Berry Burst. I did not end up using Bubble Bath at all, so we're going to just stick with Berry Burst. But I do want to make sure I don't get it too terribly dark. So I'm still going to be using this scrap over here. Okay, because that's pretty dark. Let's see. That's still pretty dark. That's better. So 3rd generation, I even did a 4th there just to see. Yeah, it's okay. I actually kind of like the blank spots, so I'm not going to do too much of that. And I might even try, instead of this color, I think I'm going to try Bubble Bath and see if I like it more, because I think I will. Okay, unless I did, because it's getting fainter too when I do 3rd generation, and I need to see it, which means I have to push the stamp down. The more I push, the darker it is. So we'll go with Bubble Bath. Let's see, oh yeah, 2nd generation Bubble Bath. That's much better. And then you can fill in the blank spots if you wish. But you don't have to. It's pretty nice even as it is. Okay? Lovely. Do one there. All right, love it. So pretty. Definitely should have used this first for number 4, and then, or number 1. I guess it was number 1 mask. Should have used Bubble Bath and then gone on to Berry Burst, and I probably could have stayed with Berry Burst and not had to go on to Rich Razzleberry. But anyway, that's why you practice first with a color, a new color. But I knew that it would be fine for me to just do it, and you could figure that out. It's not a big deal if I blub. Let's see which side. No, that's the sticky side, so keep that down. All right, and now you can just easily cut this up, make it into any kind of a card you want. This is going to be my background paper, and so I'm going to want to, let's see, it did tear right there. You push this, even washi tape, you push it down hard enough, and it will tear. So, I mean, it didn't down any of the other sides, but right up there at the top it did. So anyway, so I wouldn't be using that edge anyway. All right. So if you're doing a standard card size, you're going to want to cut these at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to clean that off before I go any further. Move my mess over. Okay, good. That cleans up pretty nice. Excellent. I'm so glad. I wasn't sure if that was going to work. I just got a piece of plastic, basically. It's heavy duty. And it grips my glass mat underneath my little paper mat. But it always gets messed up if I just have paper under there. All right. All right, so now we can cut this up and make a nice card, because Jeff's not home yet. That's sweet. Let's see here. We'll go. Where's the that's the torn side, so that's good because it won't be in this corner. So we'll go 4 inches and pull that out. And I might actually like one to be bigger. Let's see, this is 4 inches there. let's do this one. A slim would be nice too. Let's do this as a slim version. I'm gonna go with my slim card. I think I'll do it 3 1/2. No, we'll do it 3 1/4. Yeah, because my card will be at 3 1/2. So that I'm going to turn into a slim one. And then this one will just be oversized. So we've got, we're right at a little bit more than 4 1/4. So this side's the torn side. I'm going to take off that edge where I tore it, get rid of that piece. And then we'll turn this side. And look at it. Looks pretty good. This side, that's where my tape was, and I can see a line there. So we're gonna take a little bit of that off, and now we'll see what kind of dimensions we're gonna end up with. This is 5 1/4, and this is 7. I'm not enough to do 2 skinny cards, so we're going to go ahead with 3 1/2, 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. It's going to be a little bit off-sized, but that's okay. That way I'm using it all up, and you don't have to do that. Obviously, it's pretty cheap. You're making it yourself out of a white piece of white cardstock, so you don't have to be so careful with it. You can just cut it up as you wish. But I'm going to use this as the backing for all of it. Isn't that going to be gorgeous? I think so. I think I'm going to really like that. So I've got plenty of this. I'm going to use this sheet for sure with my long skinny one. And I'm going to cut this with my, using this as a guide to get my dimension. Okay, so that I can see I'm going to have plenty of border, and I'm going to have my border about equal on all sides. Right there, and right here. This is, the reason I'm doing this is that I don't have to even measure anything. I'm cutting and gluing. If you're going to put ribbon on it, do that now before you do anything else. But you can do it one more time before you put this on another card. But I think this one actually would look better if you did the ribbon now. I'm not going to worry about the ribbon right now. I'll figure that out later if I'm going to do that or not. I kind of like this glittery look. So I think rather than ribbon, I'd rather have glitter on it. One thing I did learn is do not do glitter on top of glue. I tried that. I'd forgotten it doesn't really work. So I put some glue on a little bit of these and then put my glitter on and shook it off, and it completely made a big mess. If you're gonna do glitter on here at all, just cut out some snowflakes with your glimmer paper and stick it on. It's gonna look better. All right, so there's one card front sorta done. And I'm gonna just go ahead and finish this one out, and then we'll have that one done. These you can just imagine, because I'm not going to do all of these. It just takes a long time, and you get the idea. I guess I do need to still trim this edge here, because I see the torn bit right there. So I'm gonna trim that off, and that's still just under 4, so that's gonna work out quite nicely for a standard 4 1/4 size card. And then this one will be cut. This one, let's see, would be cut 5 1/8. That'll make that one too short. I'm gonna cut this one right in half, about. And then these are gonna be a little bit shorter, but the reason that works is because you can just use a die. I used a big square die that I had to center one snowflake. But I don't really have a snowflake centered on any of these cards, so I can't do that anyway. I'm just gonna cut it and then mount it without worrying about a die cut for all of those. All right, so we'll finish this one card, and then you can go to my Pinterest page and then find out what the rest of them look like, because I'll get them all up there eventually. You know, I really appreciate it when you follow me, especially on YouTube, because Facebook has done enough things to make putting anything on Facebook not all that useful for me anymore. I wish it had been a better venture, but YouTube is better. And so if you are watching any of these videos, if you're watching on Facebook, thank you. I appreciate it very much. You're probably one of the few people that are. Most people left Facebook that I am associated with. And they watch me on YouTube. If you are watching me on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I think there's not a like. There is a like, but especially the subscribe is nice. So if you do that, then I just have an idea if people are still interested in this or not. I don't need to do it, you know, I don't need to. All right, so let's keep working on this one and get it done. So there's my base card. I'm not gonna actually glue it down because I'm gonna wait, see if I do want a ribbon on there. I might. Now, the other thing about these snowflakes being so beautiful is that the work has been done for you. You can kind of see where you want the sentiment to be. Pick one that's pretty big. This is, I want to say this is a new one, but I'm not sure that it really is. Could be. I know these are all old ones, and then this is the one that I was planning on using. So you find one that has the size font and the words that you want. And, you know, if I did bells on here, that'd work really good with Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. And I might get a bell and put on there. Who knows? Because I think I would have room for a nice bell on here. But since I'm not going to go find all of that right now, I'll just use my Wish You a Merry Christmas and put that. That's a pretty good sized stamp. I think it'll be big enough. And one nice thing about just sticking with your one color is that it's a no-brainer what color you're going to be using, right? You don't have to even think about it. The only thing I would have to think about here is, do I want Berry Burst or do I want Rich Razzleberry? But obviously I'm going to do Berry Burst because that was my card matte color. Okay, let's see. Is this big enough? It might be. We'll see. I'm going to do another one too, just to be sure, because I'm not positive that one's going to be big enough. I might want a bigger die on that one. Now these inks are super dark, and with our old red rubber, it didn't really matter so much. I could just rub it on my super chamois thing, Simply Chamois, and be happy with the result because I couldn't really see whether it was clean or not. With the photopolymer, they're clear, so you can see ink left, red ink. It's not going to come off onto your projects if it's actually clean, but it does stain them. So just for you to know, if that really bugs you, it is possible to get it cleaned off, but it does take some effort to do it. So it's just up to you if you want to go to all that trouble or not. All right, so we're going to take one of these. This is the traditional labels. It's very pretty. It's pretty large. This one's going to fit it nicely, but yeah, I'm glad I did that because this will be a better edge on it. And then it leaves me plenty of room for little gems and other things that I might like to decorate it with. There is one that's, you know, a little bit bigger. If you wanted to do something more on that, that would look, that's going to cover up too many of these. I don't want that many. I really like these snowflakes. I don't want it all covered up, you know. Just some of it covered up is fine, but not all of it. It's too pretty. So we'll cut this out and we will get that stuck on and we will be done for the day. Thank you so much for watching and for liking and sharing and subscribing and all of whatever it is that you're doing. And just know that it is a really good time of the year to be making your Christmas cards. They People love it. Not many people are sending Christmas cards anymore. You're going to be one of the few. And it's, for me, it's very rewarding. I love getting the cards that I do. And I really appreciate it because it's just not very many people doing it anymore, right? So it's very nice. It's also something that's really nice to do for your neighbors. And it doesn't, it really costs you almost, you know, just so little. Now, when I'm looking at that, that just to me screams that I need, you know, an edge or something. But I don't really want to do another mat. So it is possible, if you like to do this sort of thing, you can take, I would use the marker. The markers aren't going to be in stock all that much longer. They have discontinued using them. People just aren't using them anymore. So they've discontinued it. And I do have a blending pen that's a berry burst. Let's see if I've got a marker. I've got Magenta Madness. All right, marker. Where are you? Berry burst. There you are. So the Stampin' Up markers, they're not going to bleed so much. So if you want any color on the edge, you can take your brush nib. Once you've done this, you're committed. All right? So I'm committed now, so I'm doing it. But you just keep it at an angle, and you can just kind of put a little bit of color right here on the edge. And with a marker, you can do this. Like I said, now the other one you can do it too, but it is going to bleed. It's a little harder to control. You could use pencils. I don't know if I've even tried it with pencils. I'm not sure you have a good enough success with that, but you might if it's soft enough lead. But there, that kind of makes that stand out just a little bit more. So I think I like that. If you want to put the ribbon in again, before you mount it on this base card, that's what you need to do. Now those are my mini dimensionals. I don't want those. Put these bigger ones on. And so that's how you get a little bit of color on your labels without having to actually put another mat on it. Because if I was going to put this one's a specialty shape, so I can't just do a rectangle die or a punch. I would have to it on, and you've seen me do that many times. Okay, you can decide which way you want this. You could do it, you know, so many different ways depending on what you think the best part of the design is, but I'm going to just stick with what I initially figured would look best. I don't really want that pointing at that, but it kind of ended up doing it. And the other nice thing about the dark color is that you can take your light, like this is elegant faceted, and so they're clear. You can take your clear ones and you can stick these onto all of the little, are these? Yeah, they are. They're faceted. You can stick these on here and make it shine. You can make these shine if you want to, which is really pretty. And I think what I need is to find some magenta or berry burst gems, and I'm going to line that, and we'll get this card finished. But I am going to be finished for today because I hear Jeff is home. But you have a wonderful day, and it's a weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week with the next week's project. I'm kind of catching up a little bit, getting back to getting it on before you get the newsletter. So you will see this in the newsletter coming up next week. And again, like and share what you can. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.